That doesn't matter, it's my camera.
Okay, recording,
right.
take 2.
You ready?
Yeah.
Right. Hi, me again. Sean's asking me about that I'm an instructor at Griffith University teaching eLit, and he's asking me generally about the students' reactions to eLit. First off, we're not actually at Griffith. We're at another university in the Gold Coast called Bond. I don't understand it either. It's some weird private university, and their students are walking behind us, so hopefully I won't be attacked. How do students generally respond? I mean, I know it's confusing for them, I think, at first, because every other class they have is pulling them away from that direction. So it must be difficult when students are taught to write in a certain way, to think in a certain way, to think about literature and art in a certain way, and then I come in and I F all that out, and I tell them to do something completely different. And it's distressing for them. It's also difficult, I think, to teach eLit because of the fact that it requires so many different skill sets, generally. I mean, it's much better than it used to be. Like, it used to be you had to code, you had to know HTML, you had to know programming and things like that. Now there's so many easy to use, sort of off-the-shelf, open-source alternatives that, you know, a person could make eLit using a whole range of different software packages, so it's easier. But you still have to have some sense of design. You still have to be able to think in a non-linear fashion, in multi-dimensional fashion. You still have to be able to manipulate images and sounds and all that. And you have to be able to think spatially. And I just don't know that a lot of students are able to really do that. So when I teach it, I try to sort of ramp it up. It sounds weird, doesn't it? By ramping it up, I mean I torture the students, literally, with hammers and electrodes. I don't do that, Sean. Don't say I do that, Sean. Come on, Sean. It's bad. No, but seriously, I find that, you know, I have them doing basic things like Google Map fictions, or, you know, turning a WordPress blog into an interactive hypertextual character analysis or something like that. That's relatively easy. And then you find if you have a class of 20 students, maybe 4 actually really like it and really want to do it. And so then you try to encourage them to do a bit more of this kind of stuff. But another difficult aspect about teaching it is that unlike other forms of literature, there aren't many publishers. There aren't many venues for this kind of work. So to some extent you're like, well, why are you doing this in a way? You know, where's your work actually going to show up? Usually it's galleries. Usually it's places like that. There's not a lot of necessarily places in the literary community to publish these sort of things. So because of that, I think it's a difficult point at this moment. Not to say it won't get much better, but I find, you know, when you teach this kind of stuff, it's like teaching 12 classes at once, basically. That made no sense, did it? Do you have another half to that question? Which I'll answer in a minute.